How can I change my profile picture on Zinsale? We'll change this one today. First, let's analyze the photo. Find information in the photos. First, draw his head. The bottom of the nose is at the round bottom. Then, wrap your ears a bit. Define the midline of the face. Find 5 line segments on the cheek. The central line thrown is relatively small in area. In other words, the facial features should be drawn smaller. Draw something big on the right. Define his shoulders. Please note that there are intersections on the shoulders. We are from the back of our necks. It's the part of the trapezius muscle. Draw our shoulders. And don't just draw a straight line from the neck to the shoulder. The perspective of this one is very impressive. Only the area we can see in our chest is relatively small. What you draw will be relatively shorter. Find the center of the circle. Find the general location of the eyes. Find the general locations of the eyebrows, nose, and mouth. Let's take a look at the general structure diagram. Fill in the ears. Then create a new layer. We analyze hair and hats in blue. Please note that the brim of the hat is thick. The top of the hat also has thickness. So we can't just follow the trend blindly. This hair is long and straight. So we'll just decide it directly. 2 lines can represent a group for it. The 2 stripes on the right are 2 groups. Get this information. Let's draw it ourselves on the side. You must draw it by yourself. First of all, set a goal or plan. Please note that the middle line is relatively smaller on the left. My right cheek will get bigger. Then determine the 5 line segments of the cheekbones. Find the center of the circle. Define the approximate location of the eyes, eyebrows, nose, and mouth. Find our necks. Pay attention to the thickness of your neck. Recall the knowledge points we just learned. Our trapezius muscles and shoulders are relatively high because it's more inclined to look up. Then we can see a large part of the shoulder. So when we draw, be sure to pay attention that you shouldn't draw the shoulders from the neck, but the lines that interweave from the back. Quickly determine the approximate location of his chest cavity. The perspective is very broad. Therefore, the area of our chest cavity will be smaller. Pay attention to the interlacing of your arms and connect our legs to his. You can change the color of the new layer to blue and use it to replace the hat. Pay attention to the thickness of the top of the hat. The thickness of the brim of the hat. The curvature of the horizon is also higher on the left and lower on the right. Quickly draw the grouping of hair. We'll soon have the overall structure of this project. In fact, it has already come out. Next, we just need to refine it. To make it easier for everyone to see, I'll erase the extra lines. Next, let's enlarge him to the center of the screen. Pay attention to the full composition. The person is in the center. Transparency decreases. Select the line brush for the new layer. Let's outline our cheekbones. The brush is super smooth, sharp at both ends. Then you can just do it directly. Let's outline our cheekbones. Please pay attention to draw long lines when you're drawing. Don't draw intermittently. When you're drawing, you should be neat and decisive. Then define our facial features. The nose is located at the intersection of our center line and the round bottom. Draw the approximate location of the mouth. Please make sure not to draw the lip gloss too far from the center line. You can see that I'm a bit hesitant here. So I'm going to draw a hat on the electrocardiogram layer first. Quickly outline the shape of the hat. Then it's better to draw out the hair first. Draw the shoulder through our structural diagram. Quickly outline the lines of our hats. Then fix your hair. At this moment, we can see the lines we've drawn. Basically, they are all long lines. Therefore, line drawings will be more neat and concise. There won't be those tiny short lines with a lot of rough edges. Pay attention to Zhao Bao, who is trying to steal the spotlight. Please change this habit as soon as possible. Draw the close of the chest cavity and our black stockings. At this time, let's go back to our previous layer. Go draw your arm. It's very easy. Because the position of the hair has already been drawn out, pay attention to the lines we've interspersed. I choose to draw the line sketch of the eyes last. It's because the eyes are more important. We'll teach you separately. First of all, let's set a relatively narrow parallelogram, because his eyes will be longer. So we need to be more specific. Cut off the triangles at the inner and outer corners of the eyes. Transparency decreases. Create a new layer. We connect them according to the 3 sides above. Pay attention to the thin part at the inner corner of the eye and the thick part at the outer corner of the eye. Draw our upper eyelids. Lengthen the tail of our eyes and draw a double eyelid with eyeliner. Pay attention to my double eyelids here. I gave him a little interlude. Draw our eyeballs. And then the lower eyelid, just below the edge of the hexagon. Continue to draw our eyelashes. After finishing the right eye, what should we do next? The left eye will be easier to do. Just draw the arc we've just talked about. Bolden the tail of the eye. Then draw double eyelids and eyelashes. I've already finished drawing my upper eyelids quickly. Then pay attention to the tail of our eyes. It's a bit higher than the inner corner of the eye. Because my eyes are spinning, turn to his right. Therefore, the tail of our eyes will be higher. There are still 2 or 3 eyelashes and tail wings. The upper eyelashes are usually longer than the lower ones. Adjust the size and position of the eyes. In the end, let's use our looser lines. Go and draw his glasses frame. Because it's a boundless eye, the lines need to be dotted to better reflect his effect. I've already finished the line drawing of a shoujo manga. Have you learned it? Let's start drawing together quickly.